And oh, guess we're not gonna get a little
Yeah,
joke. Sorry there.
Playoffs.
Playoffs. What do you mean playoffs, guys? Well, I'm exactly what I mean here.
Oh, here we go. There we go. It kind of
There we
worked.
go, guys. So
All right.
anyways, guys, welcome to Titans Olympus playoffs. This is the first week, and we're going to be bringing you guys tonight SYN Refugees versus Dorado Gaming Sigma. Right now, as you guys did see last week, we did cast Dorado Gaming Sigma, and unfortunately, they end up taking the loss to Strawberry Odium in a very intense 3-game series that honestly might have maybe put a little chip in the armor of Dorado Gaming Sigma. And we're going to see here tonight if it is possible for them to be able to continue their playoff berth in a very strong fashion, or are we going to be able to get them in a different type of light. I am joined tonight by my fellow caster, Fel. I hope you are doing well, as we are excited for the playoffs tonight.
I'm doing amazing. Thank you for the intro. Yeah, no, it was a fun time. We've also done refugees earlier on in the season. They were a lot of fun to watch as well. And we do have a sub coming in for Dorado Gaming Sigma. So Gremlin will be subbing in for the support role. And you know, the way that Olympus has gone, especially on this cast, has been every time that there's a sub, there's a win. It's a free win. So you know, interested to see how this one goes. I know Sigma didn't have the ending that they wanted at the end of last week, and Refugees has been kind of like up and down, but they've been taking out a lot of the higher ranked teams as they've been going along. So you know, I mean, it's anybody's game, right? We're getting into, this is now a best of 5 because it's playoffs. So if we can get deep into these games, these champion pools are really going to be tested, as we just seen the rosters for Dorado Gaming Sigma and now SYN Refugees. So yeah, they super excited to be here, man.
I couldn't be any more excited, as this is gonna be my first playoffs here, casting for Titan Esports Olympus. So I'm really hyped. So we're definitely gonna have a grand old time here, as the two teams we do see here, SYN Refugees, so as Guo, Z Strug, Solo Mason, Phenomenal on the respective roles, as we could be suspecting a lot of. It depends on how you feel about these teams, right? I believe SYN Refugees is kind of on an interesting turn, at least in the regard that they've been kind of strong the last couple of weeks. And everyone's looking like they're a very strong contender, especially considering that they've managed to take down the number 1 in their group 2-0 before. So that's always a very good, indicator that you do have the strengths to potentially bang around with the bigger guys. So you want to be able to carry that into this game, especially with Dorado Gaming Sigma, I believe, still possibly being a favorite for people going into this series. But it's still, to me at least, I feel like we can see a very even matchup.
Yeah, and that's kind of where I'm at here too. I feel like maybe Refugees is getting a little bit too much of a maybe discounted, because they're especially their solo laners haven't been pushed into a lot of like weird champions during the season, and people don't think that they're as deep. But you know, you prepare for this. You know, you're not playing the same 5-6 champions every single week over and over and over again. So like these guys, they're no slouches. They're ready to go. One thing that we do have to mention is that because Dorado Gaming was late and Gremlin is an E-sub at the last minute for playoffs, they are going to miss, at least in game 1, their first 3 bans. So I know that you were pretty excited to talk about this. So I'll leave the floor to you to poop on SYN Refugees if they lose this first game.
So the reason why I have a lot of excitement for when things like this happen is because it kind of opens up another team, especially the one that is expected to potentially be the underdog of the series. It usually is a really good indicator for them. So we're really hoping, like, in this regard, when SYN Refugees is also on red side, even though some people don't like playing on red side as much, red side has the counter picks to everything, or generally has counter pick. So you're kind of like, oh, well, you got red side and they're missing their first 3 bans. You're hoping that SYN Refugees is going to be like, all right, let's take full advantage of this. Let's try to get our strongest, get the strongest possible in the first 3 picks. Let's try to get the strongest possible comp or the strongest possible champions for us to be able to eke out this game 1, because you really want to carry that momentum of winning a game 1 in a best of 5s into that later series. And right now we are seeing that the first 3 bans from the side of SYN Refugees is actually going to be a lot of support bans going for Nami, Karma, and Braum. So they're targeting the subs, and every time we cast subs on this desk, for some reason it just ends up being the sub wins. So I think SYN Refugees is like taking full advantage of that and being like, yeah, no, you guys are not allowed. But I think if it is going Nico support, that's still a very strong support to go up against. But then SYN Refugees responding with an absolute strong combination in the Ashe Seraphine.
Yeah, they are, but I mean, you focused all of your bans onto the sub, and the sub gets first pick blue, like B1, right? And so we've seen last week Yengu super strong on the Jarvan, super strong on the Xin Xiao. We saw the Ezreal from Monoxia was like absolutely huge, and like now you just like took out their subs and like, or you took out the supports for the subs, and it's like what exactly is going on? Because now they still get the B1 support pick, and you're just sitting there like, okay, well, we banned this guy out and they still B1 support, so did it really even matter that much?
And right now, the way that it is looking like, yeah, it doesn't feel like it really did matter too much, at least in this particular regard. Like, you again. It looks like we might be having some technical difficulties, everyone, as we have heard from production. So if you guys can still hear us, please bear with us in a moment, as we will get right back into these games as